thoughts and prayers are with those who've lost loved ones and those whose lives have been affected by the storm. You need to know that America will be with you in your hour of need.
Welcome to CNN Student News. I'm Carl Azuz. Our top story is what you just heard President Obama talking about, a big Atlantic storm called Irene. This thing ripped its way up the U.S. East Coast over the weekend. More than a dozen people were killed. Millions lost power. When Irene made its first landfall on Saturday, it was a hurricane. By yesterday, it had been downgraded to a tropical storm. We want to give you a sense of how this story developed. So we're going to look back at some of the reports that came in as Irene churned up the U.S. East Coast.
What you're looking at here is houses that are about underwater in places, and this is the Bogue Sound. You can see that. You're looking out right now at the Bogue Sound that has come inland here, and there goes the camera. You can feel the wind and the rain. I mean, we have waves literally racing inland.
Pretty much escaped off of Maple Road. There's a tree down, and we hit Perrin, and it was trees down. The wiring, everything's down. We literally got stuck and escaped here, and now we're at Calvert High.
This is the first time a state of emergency has been declared in the city since 1986. We've had about 100 trees in various parts of the city down and live wires down. So we obviously never go near any wire. It could be live and literally could kill you.
We've had the wettest August in New Jersey history before Hurricane Irene. And so the problem is that we have saturated ground, we have swelled rivers, and with the winds that we've had, we also have a lot of trees taking down power lines. So with 500,000 people and growing without power, and with more flooding to happen on Monday and Tuesday as these rivers crest.
Irene is still a hurricane, although you would describe it as a minimal hurricane. Let me tell you something. I've been in a lot of minimal hurricanes. It's still a hurricane. We are taking damage on this boardwalk right now as water continues to flow in.
So what do we know? What don't we know? We know that Irene caused serious flooding. That seems to be one of the biggest concerns that officials have. We know that President Obama declared states of emergency for many of the states that were affected. That'll speed up the flow of federal money for recovery efforts. We know some people were relieved that Irene wasn't as bad as they'd worried it might be. But we also know that on Sunday, authorities were warning that Irene was still a large and potentially dangerous storm. What we don't know is exactly how expensive Irene will turn out to be. Some estimates said this storm might have caused more than $1 billion in property damage, but that's just an estimate. That could change. And it doesn't necessarily include the impact on coastal tourism and the airline industry. Thousands of flights were canceled because of Irene.